Now, the deportation of over 100 illegal Indian migrants from the US in chains and handcuffs sparked an uproar both inside and outside in the parliament today. Opposition MPs protested outside the parliament, with some even wearing chains to show solidarity with the Indians who were sent back by the US in an inhumane manner. After the ruckus rocked both the houses of the parliament, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar briefed the MPs over this matter. The External Affairs Minister informed that parliamentarians that the exercise of US deporting illegal Indians is normal and that it has been happening frequently since 2009. Now, Jaishankar further clarified that since 2012, US has been using restraint in the deportation process. However, no women or children in the 104 Indian deportees were chained and handcuffed. The foreign minister also said that deportation are handled by the US Immigration and Customs Enforcement and that India is engaging with the Trump administration to ensure humane treatment. However, the opposition leaders continued to press, questioning why the Modi government did not send a chartered plane to bring back its citizens with dignity. They also questioned the government over a number of illegal Indians likely to be deported by the US in the upcoming future.
Mr. Chairman, sir, it is the obligation of all countries to take back their nationals if they are found to be living illegally abroad. This is naturally subject to an unambiguous verification of their nationality. This is not a policy applicable to any specific country, nor indeed one only practiced by India. It is a general accepted principle in international relations. Sir, honorable members would be aware that the process of deportation is not a new one. I repeat, not a new one, and has been ongoing for several years. We have been informed by ICE that women and children are not restrained. Further, the needs of deportees, including during transit, related to food and other necessities, including possible medical emergencies, are attended to. During toilet breaks, deportees are temporarily unrestrained if needed in that regard. This is applicable to chartered civilian aircraft as well as military aircraft. We are, of course, engaging the US government to ensure that the returning deportees are not mistreated in any manner during the flight.
How much advance notice that the government of India received for this US deportation?
Yes.
And how many much more are in the pipeline? Number one. Number two, did the Indian embassy or the consulate provide any kind of legal or consulate service sought by them?
Yes.
Or if not at all, what was? What the government is doing about the agents and agencies which openly on their website claim that they'll make you reach your favored destination. They might be illegal infiltrators or whatever for US. For us, they are our genuine citizens. हमारे नागरिक हैं, और चूंकि हमारे नागरिक हैं, how does this deportation align with India's broader policy on protecting its citizens abroad?
सपने जमी पर, हाथ में हथकड़ी, पांव में जंजीर, स्वाभिमान जो है वो धूमिल होता हुआ। सर, 4 सिंपल क्लैरिफिकेशन माननीय विदेश मंत्री जी से हैं। पहली, क्या सरकार जानती है कि 5 फरवरी को 104 भारतीयों को हाथ में हथकड़ी और पांव में जंजीरें लगाकर, जहां 19 महिलाएं भी शामिल थी, 40 घंटे की यात्रा जिसमें एक टॉयलेट, इस अमानवीय तरीके से उनको जबरन भारत भेजा गया और सरकार चुप्पी साधे रही? क्या सरकार जानती है कि 7,25,000 ऐसे भारतीय हैं जिनको अमेरिका इसी प्रकार से वहां से निकालने की तैयारी कर रहा है? क्या ये व्यवहार एक आतंकवादी या उग्रवादी का व्यवहार है भारतीयों से या एक मानवीय व्यवहार है? इस पर क्या सरकार टिप्पणी करेगी?
हाथ में हथकड़ी, पैरों में बेड़ी डालकर
रणदीप कह चुके
सर अमानवीय तरीके से उनको भारत लाया गया और लाने के बाद भारत की धरती पर जब उतर गए तो आप भी उनको सम्मान देने के लिए तैयार नहीं। हरियाणा के कैदी वैन में हमारे नागरिकों को ले जाया गया। छोटे छोटे देश अपना जहाज भेज के अपने नागरिकों को अपने अपने देश में ला रहे हैं। क्या भारत के सरकार की आगे योजना है कि आप अपना जहाज भेजेंगे? आप ऑपरेशन गंगा का जिक्र करते हैं यूक्रेन में, आप कोई ऐसी योजना बना रहे हैं अपने नागरिकों को लाने के लिए? अंतिम सवाल सर, आपकी धरती पर अमेरिका के सेना का जहाज आ गया और आपको पता तक नहीं चला।
We talk and we hear in this house almost every minister, every member when they speak from the treasury benches. We are the world's 5th largest economy. We are soon going to be 3rd largest. We are a Vishwaguru.
Ask this.
Sir, as a Vishwaguru, I'm asking through you, sir, as a Vishwaguru, are citizens being shackled in chains, their legs being shackled together, being handcuffed, when countries like Colombia, which don't even figure in the top 10, can send an aircraft and bring their citizens back with dignity? What stops our government from sending one aircraft? We don't have a shortage of. Why have we not been able to ensure a dignified and humane repatriation of our citizens is number one. And number two, sir, the Honorable Minister made a very important point on undocumented migrants facing a lot of risk. The migrants have gone to the US, have gone through the Darien Gap, through the northern border. Many of them are frozen and died on the northern border as well. So the question is, what process does the ministry have? Because clearly there's economic distress. They're running away from the country for such a better opportunity. How is the ministry ensuring that so many Indian citizens don't have to risk their lives to run away from a failing economy and go to other countries illegally, sir?
मैं ये कहूँगी कि बहुत बातें की गई कि मोदी जी, ट्रंप जी बहुत अच्छे मित्र हैं और मोदी जी ने ऐसे क्यों होने दिया? क्या हम अपना जहाज नहीं भेज सकते थे उनको लेने के लिए? इस तरह से क्या इंसानों के साथ बर्ताव किया जाता है कि उनको हथकड़ियाँ पहना के, बेड़ियाँ पहना के भेजा यहाँ पे?
क्या विदेश मंत्री को जवाब देना चाहिए? विदेश मंत्री को
उनको जवाब देना चाहिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी को जवाब देना चाहिए। ये कोई तरीका है क्या?
But what we have heard now is that the way they have been sent is not in a proper manner. I would like to know whether Indian embassy has been contacted by the US government and have given information that this number of people are going to be deported. And in that case, what was the reaction? And what we hear through media is that these people were handcuffed, they were ill-treated, stranded for more than 14 hours, and it is totally inhuman that nobody will admit, whether the government or us or any human. So they are all Indians. First of all, the deportation should happen in a proper manner. Why it should be an Air Force flight where there will be less comforts, we know very well.
And to discuss this further, I'm joined by senior parliamentarian from the Congress party and the whip of the upper house, Mr. Naseer Hussain, here with me. Thank you, Mr. Hussain, for taking our time and joining us over here at Mirror Now. Now, 104 Indians have been deported. We saw the visuals and we also saw how the opposition took it up in a big manner, both inside and outside the parliament. You too spoke about it in the upper house and demanded answers from the government. What were the specific concerns that you raised on the matter?
The way they have treated our people, the way human rights violation has been done, the way they have deported our people is something which cannot be accepted at any cost at all. We are an important ally to them, and they are also an important ally to us. They boast of being one of the most modern democracies in the world. But they should also know that they cannot handcuff people, they cannot put chains in their legs, and they cannot send them in a military aircraft where for 104 people there's only one toilet. So what we have asked the government is why couldn't we send our own aircraft to bring them? Why were they treated so inhumanly? If a country like Colombia can send back their military carrier and then say that we'll send our aircraft and bring them back, why couldn't we do that? It is not just about 104 people. We are told about 7,25,000 people are on the list who has to be deported. What will happen to the properties of these people that is there in US? Does the government of India have any inkling about it? Does the government of India know that this many people are supposed to be deported? And moreover, our Prime Minister had boasted that Trump is a very good friend of his. Abki baar Trump Sarkar, Namaste Temp. Thousands of dollars were spent for these programs. So what has happened? The moment he has come back, the first attack is against the Hindustanis. Our people are being demoted in the most inhuman way. हाथ में हथकड़ी, पैर में जंजीर, ये कभी नहीं देखा गया, कभी नहीं देखा था. ये हमारा सवाल ये है कि सरकार क्या कर रही है?
But the External Affairs Minister in his statement in the Parliament clarified that there has been no change or shift in the policy when it comes to the deportation, and this is a standard principle followed by all countries.
See, I wouldn't be talking about people from other parts of the world who are being deported. I'm more concerned about my countrymen. I'm more concerned about my people. They have gone there in search of employment. The party that is there in power had promised to the people of our country that they'll be giving 2 crores of jobs, employment every year. That has not happened in the last 11 years, amounting to 20 crores of jobs. That has not happened. That's the people why people are going to different parts of the world seeking employment. But then legal, illegal, I don't know what it is. My only question to the government is, how can during these times, people can be treated in this way, handcuffed, chained in the legs, without proper facilities there in the aircraft, one military aircraft carrying them for such long hours? Isn't this inhuman? Couldn't have our government negotiated with them? Couldn't our government have sent a separate aircraft to bring them back? And what is the plan for the future? How will they evacuate them? How will they bring them back? There are a number of people that are there. So these are the things that has to be dealt by the External Affairs Ministry. These are the things that has to be dealt with the government of the day. Mere jhappi won't work. We need to stay firm. We need to talk tough. We need to invoke all the UN resolutions pertaining to human rights violations.
But Mr. Hussain, are you trying to say that the Indian government wasn't firm because US maintains that when it comes to the deportation, they have been working closely with the Indian government?
That is a question and it is very pertinent. If they are actually working in collaboration with the Indian government, how did the Indian government accepted this kind of treatment for people who have been deported from America to India? That is the big question, and especially in the wake of our Prime Minister and this government claiming that Trump has been their dear friend for long, and Trump coming back in US will definitely ease relationships with India, and that will benefit India. And that is also one of the reasons why PM Modi is going probably in the next week or so to the US.
Are you then trying to say that the manner in which Indians have been deported sends a larger message to the rest of the world?
See, that is obviously there because it is not about who is a legal or who is an illegal person there, why they have gone, how they have gone, whether do they have property there, whether they have earned something there, how are they living there, and whose passport, what kind of industry is behind this, is there a racket, and all these things. These are certain things which need to be dealt with in the days to come. But the point is, I'm only worried about what will happen to the next batches of people who will be deported from there. The way they have been dealt with, the way they have been humiliated, insulted, and they have been all kinds of human rights have been violated. So I'm worried about the people those will be deported in the future. We need to take a little tougher stand. In the past, if you can remember, Meera Kumarji Sushil Kumar Shinde ji, and in fact Rahul Gandhi ji at that time, they refused to meet US diplomats when similar thing had happened in the past. So deportations have been there for different countries and even for India in the past also. But then how do we behave? What will be our posturing? And how do we seek dignity to our people, those are working in different parts of the world? If we have a laid-back attitude now in this case, this could the more worse can happen to the people in the different parts of the world. It is not that only in US that Indians are there. Indians are there in every single country in the world. If something happens there, if they have to be deported, then they will be meted with worse treatment than what we are seeing now. So we need to be firm. We need to make our message clear to our posturing. People should talk to them and say this is not acceptable. And that should only be not in terms of table-to-table talk, but that should be in terms of our public posturing. Only then I think it will work in diplomacy. Only then the countries will understand.
Okay, but Mr. Hussain, the opposition has time and again questioned the government, especially on this issue, as to what is going to happen to these deportees now. Do you feel that the government should provide more clarity on the plan ahead on a dignified repatriation of Indians abroad?
We were the first point. The government was not able to explain to the people of the country through Parliament was that we asked them whether our people, those who were there in the list of the people, those who were supposed to be deported, has the Indian government tried to give them consular access? But then the External Affairs Minister says that nobody asked for them. Then when people are handcuffed, when people are chained, how will they ask for consular access? They don't have an access to phone. They don't have an access to food. They don't have proper access to toiletry facilities there. Now, how will they call up you and ask for consular access? See, you should have, the way you're given a suo motu statement today in the Parliament, you should have acted suo motuli, reached out to them. Our embassies are there in US. They are supposed to do the job. Even for the most even for the last person who has gone there as labor or something for a very menial job also, even that person should have been given consular access. We don't even know whether these people fall in the list of people to be deported, whether they are supposed to be deported or not. Who will decide on this? They have decided on their own and they are deported. Who will give justice to them? So I think we should have given them consular access suo motuli. Any government should have done that. When we asked them, the minister said that they didn't ask for it. So this is something very strange. People on far off our land, our own citizens, who are suffering, who are being targeted, who are being pushed to the wall. If we don't go to their rescue, then what else will we do? So I think these questions are asked. And when they come back now, what will happen to their fate? If all these 7.5 lakh people or 7,25,000, whatever the figure is, I don't know the exact figure, if they are deported, what will happen to them? Who will take care of them? What will happen to their properties? What will happen to their savings in the American banks? What will happen if they are doing some small businesses there? What will happen to those businesses? And when they come back, who will help them? Will the government assist them, support them? Is there some sort of an mechanism which has been developed to assist these kind of people? Because we have so many people in Gulf, we have people in Southeast Asian countries, people have in UK, Australia, in New Zealand, everywhere. Then what will happen to these people? So I think it's high time that we do away with jhappis. Jhappis are not mere jhappis are not enough. We need to go beyond that. We need to, because when we go and try and seek support from Indian diaspora, have big programs, try to take that support for our elections in the back home in India. So we should also think of their well-being. We should also be there to support them when they need us. We should also develop mechanisms within the government whereby we can suo motuli try and help them when they are in need. I think it is not only about trying to gain their support. It is also about going to the rescue when they need us.
Absolutely. Mr. Hussain, thank you for taking your time and joining us over here at Mirror Now.